Alrighty, so I'm not even going to do an introduction this time because whenever I do an introduction I end up doing an hour-long video. So we're just going to do a very quick video, and I want to talk about optimizations for our science. So the very first optimization, and I really want to talk about this one, but I will go over to metal science, grey science, because yellow belts weren't fast enough. No, not yellow belts, yellow ammo weren't fast enough. I had to put a second set of inserters for each ammo thing to get them over the line. Before it was doing like 3.7k or something, but it took me a long time to realize it because we weren't using it for much. Now we've got it up and it is beautiful. And then yellow signs fell over as well, and this was a major pain in the ass to fix. I had to turn on my brain so hard to fix this problem that it was incredible. So here's the thing, right? Red circuits take green circuits, electric engines take green circuits, and flying robot frames take green circuits. So if we have a look, the red circuits take a total of 26.5 green circuits per second. The electric engines take 20.3 per second, and the flying robot frames take 42.6 per second. You add all three of those up and you get 89.4. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. 89.4 green circuits per second are needed for the flying robot frames, the electric engines, and the red circuits combined. Okay? That is nuts. That is 0.6 behind the actual amount, the actual amount that two belts can deliver. So I thought, you know what, let's just do two belts. Let's just see how we go. And these guys are, I mean, they got little gaps every now and then, but they're pretty much a full green belt. And in fact, they back up a little bit. Realistically, what I probably, if I do this, what okay. Maybe I should do this, because I feel like I need a little bit more inserted here to keep these guys going, because this is a very tight system. It needs to be exactly, they need to be exactly full as much as possible. So a few extra inserters just to make sure that there's no tiny little gaps is definitely so what I had originally was I had a 2 to 3 belt balancer, which was this guy. I just had that going in there, and I was like, okay, Bob's your uncle. This worked. What was happening was this top lane of this bottom belt was stalling. And then on this side, the bottom side of this bottom belt was jittery. It was half full. It didn't have all of the things in it. So we had a belt over here up the top stalling, and a belt down the bottom that was missing items. And this one is 42.6 per second, this belt. So you cannot have any missing items on it. It has to be full. So I was like, okay, what the hell? How do I solve this? So I started doing these balances everywhere. I started doing balances in before the 2 to 3, after the 2.3, after the 2 to 3 balance. I started doing all this different sort of stuff. None of it worked. It's working now, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yes, steady 5.0 per second. So it was all over the place when I was playing around with it, but it's pretty stable right now. 4.9. So we've pretty much fixed it. But you need to have a really solid understanding of what is actually happening in these belts to understand how to fix it. So as we can see here, this one seems to be okay. It is only loading from the right hand side, so this left belt is going to go a lot faster. But the thing is, we're offloading it off here, and so most of it, what comes down to the next belt, is on the right hand side of the belt, because we're using the left side of this. But then we belt balance it here, and it comes across even, which is fine. Now this one pretty much just goes through, gets belt balanced. I'm not sure if you need to belt balance it here, but we're belt balancing it anyway. And then we send as much as possible over to the left. which is 42.6 green circuits per second, if you remember correctly. So we're trying to send a full 45. This will back up occasionally because we only need 42.6. But yeah. Now the real pain of this system is that the red circuits need 26.5 and the electric engines need 20.3. Together, they add up to 46.8, which is more than 45, which is why I can't just have a single belt go out and split into these two and just say Bob's your uncle. We have to steal. So out of that 42.6, there's an extra 2.4 left over. We have to take some of that 2.4 and give it to the electric engine build. It's incredibly precise and incredibly annoying. So, yeah. So what we've actually done is basically, yeah, we've said the red circuits gets whatever it wants. The flying circuit bots, or whatever they're called, the flying units get whatever they want. Flying robot frames. And whatever is left over goes over to the electric engine units. And as you can see, this belt is not very full because it only needs 20.3. But the thing about this one is if you go all the way up to the top, you can see how we're merging it here is side on. Which means if we were sending a full belt up here, the right side would be going much faster than the left side. The left side would be backing up, the right side would be going through. And then when we had like a straight splitter, this one gets screwed up. This belt gets completely screwed up. But here is fine. Now we're getting, actually, I'm not sure if we're actually producing. I mean, we're sitting at 5K. If we have a look, we are sitting at 5K. I could look at electric engines, but it's going to screw up because we're building electric engines in the main base for various things. So we won't be able to exactly see what's going on. But anyway, here we need 23.9 machines running and we have 24. So some of these aren't actually running, which is probably not good. Maybe it's still screwed up. Maybe eventually because we were running out of the green circuits, maybe now we're running out of the engines. Okay. Here's the thing. I think the system is still good. Because if we go down to here, these 4 belts are running at full speed and they're not stalling. So we know we need 89.4, right? And we're passing 90 into the system. Now we can expect 0.6 stall. We're not getting there yet. Maybe eventually we'll get there, but we're not getting there yet. But the fact that these belts are running full speed, there's no slowdown that I can detect. They're going too fast for me to see like a 0.6 slowdown or anything like that. I think these extra inserters really helped. They are 100% going through at the moment. We know that much throughput is going out. Now, we may be overproducing on red circuits, but eventually that will back up in the system and then we won't have to worry about it anymore. Same thing with the robot flying frames. We could be overproducing, but then they'll back up because of electric engine units, and that means this green circuit build will back up and it'll start sending more over to there, which means more electric units being built. So it'll kind of work itself out. Now, having said that, I think what happened is we weren't sending enough electric circuits over to this build, and this build obviously wasn't building as much because it didn't have enough electric circuits, so it backed up on the engines. And now it's kind of going the opposite direction, where it had all these extra engines and now it's got all these green circuits, so it's going crazy and producing everything it needs to. But now the engines are starting to fall over a little bit because we're using too many electric circuits here based on the engines we had before. So it has to equalize in the other direction, which means, yeah, as this one starts to run out of engines, this one will start to back up ever so slightly. You can see, I think I just saw it back up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. The left side is backing up a little bit. Oh, that was a major backup. Okay, so this guy is going to start backing up a fair bit, which means it's going to back up all the way down the line. And it's going to slowly, very, very slowly start sending more green circuits down this right-hand line, which will then result in more electronic engines being built. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we've got, it is a pretty much a perfect system now. Okay, we can start to see these guys getting to the end. And this is total equalization, basically. We might have a little bit of problem, but then again, we need 23.9 machines running, so we will see some of these dip every now and then. But it looks like we're reaching equalization as we speak, just sitting here and watching this system. So yeah, that is beautiful. That is what you expect to see after 10-15 minutes of just letting it go. If it is perfect, it'll end up in that sort of situation. And as we can see, we are now exactly 5K again. So military science, easy to fix. This one, very hard to fix. And it's all about the way that you're feeding the belt. This one, because it's so janky, we have to feed it in a very special way. And the left side of this belt is going to back up eventually. The left side is going to back up eventually. Is that going to cause a problem? Potentially what could happen is that well, here's the thing. The left side will back up eventually, but there's barely anything coming in on the left side of this belt. They look like balancers, and they kind of are balancers, but if one side is blocked up, like I think if this side is blocked up, then it will actually block up the top side of the belt, because you've got half coming in and you've got half coming out. It's not like you think. If the left side is blocked and the top side, if the bottom side is blocked and the top side is free flowing, you're not going to get half down here. That's not the way it works. What you're going to get is the bottom half will be blocked. This will block this one, and this side is coming from the top half of the belt, so the top half will be blocked. It's very annoying. It is very annoying, because otherwise things would equalize a lot easier. Yeah. And to be honest, it's very difficult to sort of know how to do it, how to do a true belt balancer, because this is not a true belt balancer. This is kind of just a okay belt balancer. If you really wanted to do a true belt balancer, you'd have to do something very janky. You'd have to do something like this, and you'd have to do something like this. That might be a true belt balancer, because then you're only taking one side of the belt and you're sending it through, and you're only taking the other side of the belt and you're sending it through. Having said that, if the bottom of the belt is backed up and the top side is free flowing, no, that's not a true belt balancer, because, yeah, the bottom side is backed up, which means this side is going there, which means no, it's even that one. Even that wouldn't work. So yeah, a perfect belt balancer that takes equally from both halves, I do not know. I do not know. But having said that, I don't think it's a concern, because the left-hand side of this belt will eventually back up. It might take a million years, but it will. But this one should be okay. I don't think it's going to back up on this side, because this one is not actually contributing this much to this, so it shouldn't back up this side. And if anything, it'll start backing up this side, and this side is not putting out too much on the left-hand side. And we've got a balancer here anyway, so it should handle it completely okay. It's not actually backing up that much. It's backing up a bit. It'll slowly back up all the way down, very, very slowly. But it will eventually back up. But the other side should be able to handle it. So yeah, this was the only way we could get it to do perfect. If we did it a whole bunch of other ways and it failed. And you can see, surprisingly, because this takes 42.6 and we're giving it 45, you'd expect the left side to back up a bit, but it's going to back up an infinitesimally small amount because the difference is so low. Yeah, And that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much the end of the video. The only other thing I've done, which is of importance, is I went over to the DSM and I made some rare railguns. There we go. Rare railgun turrets, 4 of them up at the front. This ship is actually sitting idle because we turned off the, what do? We turned off the science pretty much. All of the bioflux goes into these chests. Oh, they're actually all full, which is nice. So yeah, bioflux supply going back to Nalvis has been fixed up entirely. I'm not sure how much have I showed this off, but yeah, backed up the bioflux. I copied this build entirely over to here, and so we're using up this massive amount of the fruit that we have to build another full belt of the Yoko Umakai, whatever it is. And this is purely for carbon fiber. So we're still not actually got enough. We're still having trouble fulfilling all of our carbon fiber needs, mainly because this guy is requesting 5,000 of it. But at least this one is okay. Oh, what else did I do? Let's finish off Gleba first. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Just a solo carbon fiber build. It's producing like crazy, but it's not keeping up with demand, which is okay. At least it's still doing a pretty good job. And yeah, that's pretty much it. In other news, I started sending some angels over in Gleba because the thing is, this build, iron and copper and circuits and all that sort of stuff, all relies on iron and copper, all relies on iron ore and copper ore. And to get all this copper and iron requires bioflux. You need bioflux to propagate it. And to create it, you just need the jelly and the Yukomo mash or whatever it is. But yeah, it's a massive pain in the ass, and it uses up these resources, which sort of was stalling the science. And I didn't like it. So this is basically just building the blue circuits and the low density structures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this entire build down after my angels are up. And when it comes to stuff like inserters, I'll just use the supply ship stuff for this to build these stack inserters. Or maybe I'll go back to sending the jelly nut back to Nalvis and building them there. But yeah, I'm really not a fan of this iron and copper sort of build process, because it's anything that uses bioflux. I mean, we're kind of backed up on bioflux still, but anyway, we've got our angel of density already up there. It is currently not doing a lot because it's out of copper, but that's all right. It does have a fusion reactor. It's funny, I filled up all of the storage tanks with fuel and oxidizer, and then I switched over to a fusion reactor on Nalvis, and then I flew over to Gleba without any means of producing fuel. So I ripped out the fuel production unit, and then I flew over to Gleba, and thankfully I had enough fuel in the tanks to last the journey, but I can't fly anywhere else at the moment. This thing's just stuck there, which is fine. I do also have a Gleba fusion fuel, which I'm just waiting for it to arm itself, and then I'll start sending the fuel over to Gleba. And Angel Blue is currently sitting above Nalvis, slowly building everything up. I'll let that one sit, and eventually what I'll do is I'll rip this part out, and I'll rip this part out, and I could probably do that now actually, but yeah, I'll rip this part out, rip that part out, convert it over to look like the Blue Angel, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll send it over to Gleba and slow roll it over there, and then it can sit there above Gleba. Because yeah, Volcanus and Fulgora, I think they can produce their own items fine, but Gleba, I mean, rocket fuel is no issue. It's rocket fuel from jelly. That one's very simple to make. A little bit of bioflux, bunch of jelly, rocket fuel. That one I'm not too concerned with. And, I mean, I don't know how we would make rocket fuel in a orbital platform anyway. We probably could. I mean, if we have a look, actually, that's an interesting idea. We don't really need it, but anyway, solid fuel. Yeah, solid fuel. I mean, we could do it because we got light oil. We already got light oil up there. In fact, rocket fuel would probably be easier than blue circuits or anything else. Because we got the light oil here, and then we just boom, light oil to rocket fuel, job done. But anyway, I am really liking these density ships now because basically you give it a little bit of copper and look at the prod bonus go. Our prod bonus is just insane on these ships now, and even though this ship's got barely any copper, it's still producing tons of LDS everywhere it goes. And yes, I did put LDS up to level 25, and if I go over here, 25 plus no, it's not at 25. Oh, it's at level 22 at the moment. I researched level 22. So 22 plus the 50 is 27, plus 4 is 31. So it should be 31, but it is still 300%. So that's definitely the limit. Yeah. This is not too good. This is the problem with we're not balancing these out. But you can see we were just about to run out, and then we put it there. Maybe I should be balancing these chests, because if we don't balance the chests, then suddenly we end up with a little bit of imbalance at the end, which is not great. Yeah, so we're at 47. We should be at 50. Most of that is because we're still missing 1,500 legendary prod modules. But once we get all those, then we will be at 50,000 signs per minute. Which is nice and simple because it means one science pack is worth 10 signs, basically. So, yeah, this railgun, 512k. All I need is 50k in the thing. And boom, 50k becomes 500k. And so it's easy, it's very easy for me to do the math. And I haven't done a lot, but railgun shooting speed, this is only 512, this is 16 million. So I might just sneak this one in there. Because that one will be relatively fast. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to do 500,000 research because our SPM is just so friggin' high. 10 times is really good. But, yeah, let's actually do a belt balancing thing here. I mean, or we can actually have a look, because we got 100 here. So, another train will pop up. Look at that. That is the beauty of having a very precisely timed base. Because you know you're producing 5k SPM. You know you're using 5k SPM. So therefore you can just look at the belt all day and you know that as soon as the train leaves and you've got like 100 signs left in that chest, you just know that another train is going to arrive. You can just predict it. It's beautiful. I tried to do the same thing in Shapes 2, and it kind of worked, but that was a little bit funny. Not quite as optimized as Factorio. Okay, so here is how we do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then no, we don't do that. We don't use the green wire yet. We still keep using the red wire. So we take each and we divide it by 6. And then we output each. Output signal is 160. And then we've got that signal. I wish I could sort of look sideways a little bit because I can't see the actual wire there under the copper wire. Okay, so now we hook each of these individually to their own chest using a green wire. And then we activate it if... Oh, that's right. We need to output A. A for average. And then this guy is only going to work if yellow science is less than the average. And it actually has to be less than or equal to. If it's not less than or equal to, then when all the chests are empty, the entire system will end up stalling. Okay. And that is how we do that. You can see only the top 3 inserters are working, and they're offloading all of those evenly. This one's starting to work a bit, this one's starting to work a bit, but because only the last 3 are actually outputting, that's not necessarily going to work, is it? Because the problem still is... Okay, maybe it'll start to work a little bit better now, because we're emptying out these chests, this front chest. The problem is the front inserters, the front 3 inserters are never working. So as long as we keep inserting everything into the back 3, then we're fine. Then we're okay. But we still want some sort of cache here, because the thing is, there's a period where there's no train. Now, we kind of need a cache in the middle, like an extra buffer of items. So in the time between one train leaving and the next train arriving, we're still got enough science there to fill the belt. Having said that, I mean, that cache will disappear eventually, because we're using 83 science per minute, and this belt accepts 90 science per minute, because it's 22.5 multiplied by 4. So we will be spitting out. So if our aim is to keep the belt 100% full, we will fail, because the belt accepts 90 science per minute, and we're only producing 83.3. So maybe it was a waste to do this entire thing. Maybe it's completely unnecessary. It's fun though. I'll tell you what, it's fun. Yeah, I don't think we can actually fix this problem, to be honest. But we are doing better. The last thing we want is for this one to have 500. Here's the thing, even if that one has 500 in it, and it's only popping out a little bit at a time, the throughput of the belt is going to go down to like 60 or 70 or 50 even. But then it's going to go back up to 90 when the train here is and it's unloading. So the average throughput is still going to be 83.33333. So yeah, so we don't need any of this crap. We do not need any of this. And whoa, turn my roboport on. Thank you very much. And now we gotta just undo all of these. So right now, I mean, even though we had that gap, it's probably still going to work. It's probably still going to offload it, because we're offloading at 90 most of the time. Even though we have that gap of science not coming out, it'll make up for it in the long run. Whoa, down to 46. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Ooh, copper cable. Where did that spike come from? I don't know. Maybe we sent a rocket off or something. How are our angels doing? Gleba blue is fine. Gleba angel of destiny is fine. Gleba blue. We can pretty much do this one, actually. Let's do it. So we gotta get rid of all this. We get rid of all this. We get rid of this as well. And then We go to Angel Blue, and we're actually going to copy the whole left side of it. All the way up to there. Okay, it's not quite working. If we map over it... Okay, need to get rid of some belts there. And we do this over Nowvis because then Nowvis can sort of... So I've already requested these. I'm not going to get rid of this group yet because... In fact, I probably could. Hopefully it doesn't drop these down. I've got unload turned off, so that's fine. All of these are full, which is good. So then we go ahead and clear everything here. Get rid of all of our fuel production. And if I remember correctly, we do that as well. I'm going to get rid of those four. Okay, we definitely don't need these anymore. We still need that pipe, and we still leave those belts up here. Okay. Now, technically, we don't need to start fueling this guy yet. I'm going to set Fusion Fuel Space Station. So then we'll get it from Nowvis, and then we'll change it over to Fusion Fuel from Gleber. I'm sure Gleber, I'm guessing doesn't have any Fusion Fuel yet. No, but this one's still stacked up pretty nicely. The Gleber Fusion Fuel platform is still busy building up rockets, so I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm still a bit fuzzy about changing the import from on these groups, whether it affects other groups, but I'm just going to have a separate group. We're going to switch it over to the Fusion Fuel GL thing in a sec, after it's pushed these up. And we're going to see what happens, whether it changes automatically. Okay, very, very nice. Nice video. Only half, well, we're still going, so we'll see. But there, look at this. This one's gone very fast. That 45k though, that worries me a bit. Has one of our sciences fallen over again? Doesn't look like it. Last 10 minutes. 5k, 5k, 5.2, 5.1, 5.5. They're all still going. Oh, by the way, I can't remember if I mentioned it, but legendary prod modules on this science pushed it up a little bit to, I think it was at 120. Now it's at 2,000. Now it's at 200. So that's just so I can get a little bit extra rocket productivity every now and then, and also so I can do this railgun shooting speed, which is definitely going to help out our DSM. DSM stands for Deep Space Mother, by the way. That is our big old Prometheum mining ship. That is a mother, all right? That is the biggest ship I have ever built by a severe factor. Each of the other ship is 2 tons. This is 12 tons. So, and it is currently sitting idle because if I send it around a bunch of places, it's going to continue to produce science we don't need, and it's going to use up these circuits, which will stop this. Oh, hello, Mr. Epic Railgun Turret. Give me a legendary though. Come on, legendary. It's gonna produce 10 epics before it produces a single legendary. That's a thing though. That is a thing. All right, Angel Blue. What do you got going on? Okay, I feel like that's enough. Let's switch that over to Fusion Fuel GL. Okay, it's a weird thing. That looks like Nowvis. That definitely, it still looks like Nowvis. Yeah. And this one still looks like Nowvis. Maybe that's a bug. Maybe that's a bug. Okay. So we got, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch over to Fusion Fuel Space Station. And it says Gleber. It still says Gleber. Ah, okay. Okay, that's definitely a bug. So we're going to switch over to Gleber. And it still says now Vis. Okay, bug. We found a bug. Devs, we found a bug. That's why the behavior was confusing me so much. Because it is, the import is definitely tied to the group. But it doesn't change it automatically when you switch it over. Somebody tell the devs we found a bug. There we go. I would tell them myself, but I'm too busy playing Factorio, so yeah. It's kind of ironic. Alright, but anyway. We got our blue circuit, we've got our thing running, we've got our fuel tanks at 100%. We simply remove now Vis and automate it, and that's going to fly over to Gleber, where it will start requesting this crap from Gleber, even though it doesn't exist, but we've got enough fusion power cells to last us for a little while. And yeah, this copper is going to take ages for it to back up. Thankfully, going to Gleber, we don't need to shoot big rocks, so we don't need the rocket launchers, we just need the normal ammo. So yeah, this is completely 100%. I don't think you actually see small asteroids in the wild. It's only ever the medium ones that you see in the wild. And then they just get destroyed into the smaller ones. Interesting. Okay. But that one will eventually... We're waiting for plastic, which is waiting for coal, which is waiting for petroleum, which is waiting for sulfuric acid, which is waiting for water, which is waiting for ice, which always takes forever. Always takes forever to build the ice. Calcite, not too bad, but ice, just, oh my god. We are actually sending calcite down here. Probably, yeah, anyway. We're going to start doing some, and I can't wait to get Fulgura Megabase up so I can get the productivity on the blue circuits up through the frickin' stratosphere. Technically, we only need another 10 levels, and then we're max productivity with 5 normal prod modules, which will be awesome. But I'll still probably put it up to level 25, so we no longer need prod modules, because they do slow their buildings down. But that's like a very low priority. I'm doing the ammo before I do the LD level 25. And by the way, 2 hours. 2 hours to finish off this research. And we're 64% done. And then for level 22 it doubles, and level 23 it doubles again. So this is going to be 5 hours for this, 10 hours for this, 20 hours for this. And we can't really push the science productivity much more than we already have. I mean, 50,000 is about where it is, and we still got 1,100 of these guys to go, and we still have not got a single legendary rocket turret. And I don't know why, because this one has 5 legendary carbon fiber in it. This one's got 5. I feel like we've produced a couple of epic rocket turrets. We just haven't got... Oh, no, we got 1 legendary rocket turret. Okay, what's going on here? That should have been moved across. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, legendary. Whoops. Okay, that should send it over now. So that's going to give us our very first legendary turret. And of course, we are going to use it down here to shoot these. No, we're not going to use it. We're not going to use it to shoot the captive biter spawners. We did have a loss of bioflux, and so I did have to add these rocket turrets down here, but this one covers all of these guys, which is really nice. And now our bioflux is fine again. We're back to the point where it's all good. So yes, no longer running out of biter eggs. And the how's it going on Gleber? How's our overgrowth soil going? We are now back to running out of seeds. Okay, so we went from running out of seeds to running out of biter eggs, and now we're back to running out of seeds. That's fine. Overgrowth 3.5k and 1. That hasn't really improved much. Our seeds, maybe we should start yanking seeds off this belt. I don't know. We are still prioritizing this area for the seeds. But this is backed up. This is fully backed up. So any extra seeds, you know what? I should probably get rid of these chests. I don't get rid of all of them. That's okay. And it will just make you a 50. So that will... It'll do as much as it needs to get this belt going. But then it'll start sending them over. Which is probably what I was doing before, but... Yeah. Yeah, it probably was doing before, to be honest, but... Whatever. It looks a little bit fancier now. So that's pretty much it. Angel Blue made it over. It's got 7k left in the fuel tanks, but it is sitting up here slowly producing the blue circuits. It's actually doing quite well on these guys already. Producing a ton of these. The density one is taking a little bit longer to get the copper up. Angel Blue has already... I'm at the right Angel Blue, aren't I? Yeah. I don't know why this one... Angel of Density. Not got very much... I suppose the LDS takes so much copper. So it probably drains it quite a lot. Also, we're not producing that much copper. But Angel Blue, for whatever reason... Tons. Tons and tons and tons of copper. I'm not going to complain about that. Alright. So then we can go back to Gleba and... we can say, screw you to this entire build. It's a pain in the ass. It drains my bioflux. It's actually fully backed up at the moment. Maybe I shouldn't delete it. Here's the thing, when the bioflux hits the fan, this build kind of turns into dog. It turns into absolute dog. It's a terrible build. It really is a terrible build, so I am going to get rid of it. Yeah, no, you know what? I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not going to get rid of it. What I'm going to do... You no longer get... well, okay, so here... No more bioflux. No more bioflux. No more nutrients, actually. No more bioflux or nutrients. Stop stealing my nutrients as well. Bioflux and nutrients. So whatever's left in there can continue to go out. And we're full on copper and we're full on iron. Eventually this will this will all fall over. And this will probably fall over and this will probably fall over. And then we'll start using the angels for providing our resources. Which I'm fine with. And then if we ever want to turn this back on, what are you using? Let's turn you off. I don't want you stealing my stuff. That stuff is probably good for making science or bioflux or whatever, so stop stealing it, please. Where was I even putting jelly? In a chest. That seems a silly thing to do. I'm putting it in there. Okay, that's right. And all these bots are around, so I can't see what's actually happening with it. I suppose if it turns to crap, maybe just to be safe, we'll do that. And that. Get all of that spoilage out of the system, please. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I feel like have we actually done a video that's less than an hour long? I feel like it's been a while since I've done that. But I still feel like, okay, let's have another look at this. All right, we've got 352, 300 is counting down. It's getting so, oh, look at that, it's the train just arrived. Yeah, how do you say perfection again? Because that's perfection, okay? That is perfection of the highest order. You watch it, you look at a little bit of 200 there. That is how you do perfect logistics. You could set your watch on that system. I don't know what that exactly means, but it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. I don't even need to look at the train schedule, and we can already... Oh, green is doing it as well. 80. Okay, this one's about to run out. Oh, this one's getting close. This chest is about to run out. It's gonna run it. That's out. We got down to one chest. 400. It's going fast. 350. Oh, look at that. The train arrives just in time. It doesn't even arrive early or late. It's just in time. That is a perfect system. That's an absolutely perfect system. And it self-balances itself. Like the same way that this green circuit's going into the engine self-balances itself. They balance themselves perfectly, assuming you have enough trains. We could add 7 trains for yellow signs and it would still do the same thing. If we had 1 train, then potentially you would be screwed. In fact, you probably would be screwed. But, oh, look at that blue signs. 300, 200, and it's beautiful. I could do this all. I could absolutely just do this all day. Oh, God, here we go. No, 300. All right, here we go. 100, 92, 70. Oh, damn, that one was close. That one was actually close. I'm a little bit worried about that one, but yeah, that was very close. Maybe military science. Here's the thing. There's one key way to know that you don't have enough trains, and that is that this station has too much science in it. If this station starts to build up with too much science, then you don't have enough trains. If this station is constantly empty, then you have enough trains. And that's it. So you may look at that situation and say, oh, we got down to 60 science, we need another train. Another train would not help. The other train would basically just come over here and just sit behind this other one and sit there and do nothing. So as long as this station is empty, you've got enough trains. That's pretty much it. Now, if we went down to 1 train, it probably would not work. It probably would not work, but yeah. I would actually want to watch this again. Because this one was very scary, but then again, this train just did finish loading up, and it's probably already on the way there. So we have a look. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so zooming around there. So it's going to get there. It's actually going to get there a little bit better. Whoa, this one's running out. This one's running out. This one's running. They're both running out. All right, this one was actually a bit better. This was like, before it was 60, now it's like 500. Oh, no, look at that. It's beautiful. This is an absolute thing of beauty, I tell you what. I feel like red science is backed up a little bit more. Was there a science we were doing previously that didn't use red? I don't think so. Everything uses red science. So the fact that red science is backed up is a mystery to me. I don't know how that ever happened. Maybe it's not as backed up as I thought. Ooh. I don't think this one's going to empty out. I really don't. It's not even going to get close to empty out. Oh, that's science. But military are so close to emptying because we were fixing those recently, so they were actually underproducing, and so that's probably why the red and the green and the blue backed up a fair bit more. Because having said that, this one is not very backed up. This one's not backed up at all. It's going down. There we go. Last minute. You can see the belt actually starts to look a little bit... This is what was worrying me before, but it doesn't worry me anymore. We did the maths. We figured out. It's all good. Oh, now I just have to figure out how to do legendary prod modules a little bit faster. I just don't... I mean, we could... Look, we've got enough bioflux now. Our bioflux situation has been solved, so maybe we could do more of these. Another one of these setups. Or I could just lead it go. I'm sure in another 10 episodes we'll have enough legendary prod modules to make it work. The problem is I stole all the ones off this top thing to send them over to Aquilo. And so now the top ones are the ones only with the old Prod 3 module, which is a bit annoying. But then again, on average, it's still okay. I mean, 45k, that's actually not that great. It was running at like 47 or 8 before when these top ones had the legendary ones, but whatever. It's still good enough-ish. I mean, we are losing 10% of our time, but... Alright, I'm going to finish it off here because we're at the 50-minute mark, and I was trying to do it. I was so sure this was going to be a short video, and in a way it kind of was. I mean, you know, from a certain point of view. This is a short video. Yeah, yeah. I actually forgot what we were talking about at the start of this video. I really... Oh, the yellow, the science builds, yes. This incredibly complicated mess. It's just belt balances. How hard? It can be very hard. Splitting 3 into 2 and one half of the lane is not going through and the other half is going through at a higher speed and blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, one of these belts is backed up and hello, what's going on here? You not? That just must have been a furphy. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much because we cannot afford any furphies in this system. Oh, what the hell is going on here? We're out of iron. We were actually out of iron. Okay, alright, hold on a sec. Did we have a slip up here? That molten iron is very, very stacked up. Did we have a... I'm not sure how we could have had a slip up. Let me do some quick maths here. I don't think these are right. I don't think these are actually right. 14 plus 16 is 30. So that's 40. That's 44.5. Who the hell made that mistake? Somebody screwed up big time. All right. I don't know who it was, but somebody screwed up big time. That is definitely not enough productivity. Only doing 44.5 iron plates a second on a belt that's supposed to have 45. Somebody needs to get fired for that. That is a massive. Yeah, well, there we go. We caught it by looking at the green circuit build. I was wondering, because a lot of these have little gaps in them. I thought adding the inserters would help, and it definitely did, but maybe it was just the iron plates. Yeah, 3 at the front, 2 at the back. And over here, iron plates. 3 at the front, 2 at the... Yeah, I screwed that up. I screwed that... Why did nobody point it out? You all... Look, here's the thing, right? Here is the thing. I want to understand this. I want to understand this very quickly. Okay, I get 10 comments a day complaining about my pronunciation of the word turret, and yet nobody says anything when I'm missing a beacon and I'm only putting out 44.5 iron belts a second instead of 45. I mean, you guys need to get your priorities straight. Seriously. I mean, are we on the same page here? I hope that we're on the same page here. I really, really do, because it seems like I'm just doing all the work, and yeah, we need to start picking up the pace here. We definitely, like, this whole thing, like, somebody should have pointed this out to me before. And it just didn't happen. But turret, I've heard that for like 5 different videos now. It is what it is, okay? It is what it is. I mean, who says turret? Turret. That sounds... Turret. That sounds like a tongue twister. Can you say turret 10 times quickly? Turret. That's easy. That's easy to say 10 times a row. Turret. It's like that... It's like a double... It messes you up. That T messes you up. Turret, you can say... It's basically a silent T at the end. You might as well just say turret. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I'm not going to change. I'm definitely not going to change. You guys are all wrong. But anyway, we're done here, and I'm still going to do this. I can't believe that rant only took me 4 minutes. I thought we'd be over an hour by now. But look at how beautiful this setup is. Okay, we are done with this video. Pretty sure we're done. Yeah, nothing else to really talk about. These belts are looking very shoddy. What's happening with blue signs? Are you still good? Are you still good? Consumption. Let's look at the consumption on signs. Ooh, it was flickering at 4.9. That's... Yeah. The consumption's still okay. So even though that belt was very gappy, it's still consuming it at 5k. Here's the thing. It flaps below down to 4.9k, but it also flaps up to 5.1k. And I think it's actually at 5.1k more than it's at 4.9k. Which is awesome. Which is very, very awesome. Yeah. Look at that. That's a very nice graph. Okay. All right. Oh, that's chipping down to 4.9k. That's not because the belt is backed up. Absolutely not. I wonder why. I mean, it's still... That's pretty good. I mean... Mostly it's a 5. I'm not going to wait. It's like chipping down to 4.9k. But it's also... I think I saw 5.3k there as well. Oh, there we go. All right. So 4.9k over a long period of time is pretty much at 5k. Okay, that's good enough. That's definitely good enough. We're building it to perfection, this system. So average over a long period of time, perfection. Absolute perfection. Speaking of perfection, how much of this? 93k of the cryogenic. I could do railgun shooting speed again. That's 1 million. I don't actually have enough. I need 100,000 to do that. I could do a level of this, actually. Maybe I'll do this. Get that up to level 15. Or put that after the bullets. Yeah. Now we'll do it before the bullets. Why not? Get another load of rocket productivity. Why the hell not? Yeah, look at that. Look at that military science belt. That's crazy low. But, again, still works. All right, we're definitely going to finish it now. I'm going to do less than an hour because this is clearly a problem. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you guys later.